Hi friends, thank you for checking in again. My name is Yibid and I'm here to show you a traveller's notebook insert. This was a custom order for a woodland style insert, so it's actually quite similar to what you've seen before, but it's a couple of new ideas that you might be interested in. So I'm just going to put it inside my own cover so that you can see what it looks like. It has got room to fit with another insert. So that's my notebook, you can ignore that. And just straighten up a little bit. And with the elastic round, so that's what it looks like. Excuse me, so it has some little danglies again, some little beads, there's a lampwork toadstool there, there's a bronze acorn, some more beads here, and this lovely green glass droplet. So the other thing that I wanted to mention, which a few people have asked me about what magnets I use, and I just get them from eBay, and they are called neodymium magnets, and they are super strong. And when I take this elastic off, I'll show you properly. There we are. I do only get the little ones because they are so strong that I don't know if that's going to focus, but you can see that tiny little dot on my finger. They are 1mm by 3mm, and I don't get big ones because they're so strong that I think you would probably damage your paper and tear through it if you're using much bigger. So on this little strip that I'm holding, there's probably about 20 on there, so 1 by 3. So that's that, and quite inexpensive as well actually. So the cover is Tim Holtz scrapbook paper, and it goes all the way around and folded again onto this side for a large pocket. The only specification this lady made, it was quite straightforward, just apart from it being a woodland journal, was that she's going to use it for travelling. So she didn't need a lot of actual writing space, but she wanted to be able to stick things in it. So I've done a few of these bigger pockets just so that you can fit the travel pamphlets in that size. So that's that. So on the front cover is, well, that's the back, a little butterfly, and then on the front there's a pressed flower with some writing behind. Oops. I'm having trouble with my lamps today. Okay, so this is a little quote from Jack London where he speaks about keeping a notebook. He says, travel with it, eat with it, sleep with it, and carries on to give some really good advice. It's part of a longer passage where he writes about writing, and does give some really good advice there if anyone cares to look that up. Excuse me. So I got some of this Tim Holtz wallflower pack with vellum, which I really like. It's kind of semi-opaque, and again, because this is an insert for a traveller's notebook, I've tried to use some finer papers so that you can have a lot of pages at the same time, and then it's not bulking up too much. So there's a glassine envelope, and here's a little flip with my usual little card for important telephone numbers and personal info. There's a pocket here with this lovely vintage meadow journaling card. So if you don't want to write on the journaling cards, you can just use these to put photos on and little snips, of course. And And Sigita Coffee Stains, I've copied your lovely idea again of doing the little amount of stitching just around the corners of the page. Of course, Sigita, she does do a lot of stitching in her books, and they're always really lovely. I really like this idea of just putting a little bit there. So thank you, Sigita, once again. Here's a little journaling card I made just with this specimen of a daisy, and just scribbled some notes on there. I felt probably if you are actually travelling with this book, it might be a bit delicate, so you could, I don't know if you want to put that in the book, maybe take it out might be better. Some writing practice. There's a quote at the top of the page, and some leaf specimens in this tracing paper pocket. This is a couple of layers of sewing paper, which feels really nice. This is a hand-carved stamp. Some mushrooms here. This is a vintage music manuscript and a nature quote. So I've tried to put a few of these little spaces where you could just glue something on or stick a photo. Again, space for a photo or writing, up to you. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice today. Here is a handmade paper library pocket. I found this pretty little French dictionary with really nice paper. So there's another hand-carved stamp here, and I've made it into a pocket. This was another idea, to use just rubbings with a crayon, like we used to do in infant school. So just some little scribbles here, and it's a nice way to keep a record of what leaves you've found in your travels. So that goes in there. So that's two-sided. And then this vintage drawing was already in this lovely arc shape, so I thought I'd use it to make another nice big pocket there with some stitching around. So some more leaf rubbings here, and a quote. And this is a page of a lovely watercolour book by Beningfield with some lovely nature images in. Another pocket here, another little envelope. These images are from Kristie Art Design, and this is might be my new favourite thing of printing on tracing paper. You all know I'm obsessed with tracing paper at the moment. So I've started printing on it, and I've been experimenting with these different graph paper designs. You can download these, just Google search for them if you wanted to do this, and you can actually adjust on some of the sites. They allow you to adjust the size of the squares and so on, and the colour, which is nice. So I've made a little pocket with some note papers, and I've used the magnet here. And just to explain, so this has got 2 layers of cotton lace, 2 layers of washi, 2 layers of tracing paper plus the glue, and it still sticks the magnet, so you can see how strong they are. If they were any stronger, I think you would damage your book. So this paper, I think this one was Cameoshoppe, and then again with the graph paper you can see this one done blue lines like old maths paper, and I like the way this looks like one of those, what are they called, like a drawing exercise that we used to do where you can trace or you can copy it square by square, so I thought that looked quite nice with the image behind. More Cameoshoppe, a little fabric stamped here on a vintage tag. There's this pretty little owl again that I've used before. A poem cut from a book. I try to keep all the quotes and such nature related to kind of tie them all in. Here's some vintage ephemera that I've made the page out of and just stuck some other bits and pieces on top of. This was my lovely friend Lucy, who came to play one day, and she made a hand carved stamp for me, which is really lovely. Thank you, Lucy. And on this side, some writing practice, some stamps and quotes, more tracing paper here with some lines just at the bottom there. Thought made it a bit more interesting. That's that hand carved stamp again, made into a tag. Some handmade papers. Here's some more of that Tim Holtz pack made into, it's like a double pocket here, and then tracing paper, exercise lines, and then that's the centre with the vintage watercolours on there, and this lovely kind of medieval woodland image. So I've stuck a little bit of tea dye paper on that side. And here is a library pocket, one of these tall ones again, and this just this is tracing paper, but as you can see you can get different grades of it. Some are more transparent than others. This one is quite faint. How you can see this is a skeleton leaf inside, so it's a little bit thicker, so you can experiment for different effects. This is a little letter that I like to include just in the front pocket usually of journals I make, in case you're giving it as a gift, because some people are a little bit confused by junk journals. So I'll just hold it here for a second so that you can pause your video if you want. I'm happy to send it to anybody. If you want to send me your email, happy to send it, or you can just use the ideas if you care to. It's just that a few people have asked me about it, and so there it is for anyone who is interested. And also, I don't know if that will show on camera, but there's a little, I found an embossing machine at an antique shop, and it's got the details of a local business round the outside, and then this pretty acorn with oak leaves, little kind of an icon in the centre, which was really pretty. I've done a window here with tracing paper, and just strengthened it here with a cardstock frame. Don't know if you can see that very clearly, but there's a skeleton leaf, a really huge one, that fills that window, and also this lovely nature quote. There we are. So that's that. This is one of those little tea cards or cigarette cards that people used to collect, so you get a little bit of information on the back. And then this is the same little tea card there with just been stitched roughly to this vintage look tag. So if you don't want the stitches to show through, you can just do it before you stick it to a background, and that will hide it for you. Here's a little pouch pocket thingy with a leaf specimen. See if I can focus on that. There we are, which is pretty. And then that's the other side of that ephemera form. So again, this is tracing paper with a little magnet flap, and just printed on the laser printer with graph paper. I use a laser printer. I don't know how it works with inkjet. You would have to experiment, I'm not sure. So this is Cameoshoppe, this lovely ledger and writing paper. There's another tag. And then this tracing paper, I've printed it slightly different, with bigger squares in blue. This is Kristie Art Design again, sorry. And there's another quote. Envelope with a vintage book page, a little bee on the back. More Kristie Art Design. There's that stamp again. And this is the other side of that watercolour book. This image is the old design shop, these lovely rose hips. I've just added some lines on the computer to give a little bit of somewhere to write. Vintage mushrooms again of that botanical art style, which is lovely. And then this is a page from a book about hiking in the Canadian Rockies, which is nice because obviously it's going to be used for trips, so we've got the writing both sides of there. And this lovely quote, if I can get it, might be easier to see with the mushroom backing. I don't know if that will show. A walk in nature walks the soul back home, it says. That's by Mary Davis, who sounds like a very wise lady indeed. So again, this is one of the little tea cards, and what you used to do, you used to get like an album where you could collect them all and stick them in the appropriate places, and then it's got the information there. So that is a section of one of the pages. On this side I've done a collage on this lovely thin book page. Just use different media on here, and some stamps with put some postmarks, and just picked out some of the nice words that are on the book with some colouring pencil. Done little words on the typewriter and distressed around the edges. And sorry, I keep knocking my camera today. This is just from a book, and the little drawing of the forget-me-nots. I've just drawn that over the book itself. And this little washi idea is cute because it makes it look like a specimen stuck in there. And then the other side is a pocket with this lovely vintage owl image. And this side another vintage image with some lace, silk ribbon, and opens for more space, so you can either write or put photos, however you please. This side is a library pocket made of vellum with a lovely flower design on it, and another nice quote on here on this vintage ephemera tag. With these little quotes, I've put a paper clip so it looks like it's just clipped on, but they're actually glued, which is quite a nice idea, so it makes it stronger but gives it that kind of transient look, I think. So this is the tracing paper, the sewing paper, the other side with a quote, and here is more leaf prints, rubbings with some notes. A quote about the forest by Robert Louis Stevenson, some more of Sagita's stitching, and this lovely little image is also from the old design shop, so that's made into a little pocket, and a quote at the bottom, and into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul, and I can't get enough of that quote, it's lovely. So that's the vellum paper again. And then in this pocket I've put a vintage card, and if you wanted to add some photos to your book, I've just put these old-fashioned photo corners so you can use that for a few of the photos. And then there's this long tag with the sewing machine stitches to make it look like a little exercise book scrap. And I think that's all that I have to tell you about the book. Thank you very much for watching. Bye everyone.